Hey guys, this is WWE Rocker MSK here, back with another video, and today is my top 5 storylines for WWE/TNA. This was asked by a subscriber to make this video, so I'm going to be making it. He did ask to throw in TNA as well, so I thought of 2 TNA storylines to go into the top 5. And start things off, TNA, both of them are at the bottom of the list, only because WWE storylines are pretty damn good and they're kind of hard to beat. So to start things out, we have TNA and Mortal. That's when the whole 10-10-10 thing happened. Jeff Hardy turned heel for pretty much the first time in his career, kind of. He had his whole thing about him, how he was better than everyone else and no one could touch him. That's also when he came out, either he was drunk or high off something, and he only had a match with Sting for like 20 seconds. And that was when Jeff was really out of it. But I really liked the whole, leading up to it and everything that happened until the turning point. Afterwards, it kind of went downhill because Jeff Hardy just kind of wasn't himself. But the rest of it, you had Abyss, Hulk Hogan was in it, Eric Bischoff was in it. You had Abyss and Rob Van Dam have a good kind of rivalry off of the side of it during that time. So it was a pretty decent time for TNA for that rivalry. I thought it worked out pretty well for them. Number 4 is, I don't really know if it's a storyline as far as like the best rivalry TNA's ever had. AJ Styles versus Christopher Daniels versus Samoa Joe, 2005-2006, X Division time. It was pretty much when AJ Styles is the main X Division guy. Samoa Joe came in and ended up winning the title, and then Christopher Daniels wanted to get in on it as well. So they kind of had a friendship there, but it was also the same as this is good competitive sports, so there wasn't much of a storyline to it other than these are 3 guys that really want it. And the reason it made the list is because those matches are still, to this day, the best TNA matches. They've never been able to top them, and I don't think they ever will, because that is when TNA was at its prime. And those matches, if you haven't seen it, you gotta look them up. AJ versus Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels versus AJ, are all 3 against each other. Those matches are some of the best 5-star wrestling matches I've ever seen. So to get into WWE, these are going to be my top 3. Number 3 is when Eddie Guerrero couldn't beat Rey Mysterio. This happened right before WrestleMania 21. Rey beat Eddie at the pay-per-view. Then Eddie wanted to face Rey at WrestleMania. Rey ended up winning. This made Eddie turn on Rey Mysterio, and they had a whole extra storyline go off of it as Eddie announced that Dominic was his son, and Dominic didn't like Rey, and then they had that historic ladder match for the custody of Dominic, one of my favorite matches of all time, still to this day. And it was like the first time we really had to see Eddie Guerrero's wife, which was Vicky Guerrero. She got involved for the first time too, and it was just a great storyline because you got to see Rey's family, Eddie's family, and they made you kind of believe that it was real, especially the Dominic thing, because Dominic acted it out perfect. And they definitely made you believe that everything they were saying about that kid was real. And I think that's one of the best storylines WWE had in 2005. The storyline I watch the matches all the time. You can't go wrong with those 2. Number 2 was kind of a more recent one. This is when Shawn needs to beat The Undertaker. Shawn lost at WrestleMania 25, and that loss drove him insane because he knew that he knew he could beat Undertaker. So he went all year thinking he's going to beat The Undertaker. He's going to win the Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble comes, he gets knocked out. Shawn goes insane, super kicks all the referees, super kicks everyone inside the ring, and then just storms off. This was the ending of D-Generation X as well during this time. He ends up losing the tag team titles with Triple H. Then Taker says, I'm not going to face you. He ends up going to Hell in a Cell, super kicking Undertaker, making him lose, and then Taker said, I'll have your match with you, but you have to put your career on the line. And to this day, I think WrestleMania 26 was a better match than 25. But it led to 2 historic matches in WWE history. 2 matches that are some of the best WrestleMania matches of all time. And it was a really good storyline, the way they put it together, making Shawn Michaels kind of go insane. And it was honestly a great way to end Shawn Michaels' career. Number 1 is the Yes Movement. The only reason I put him as number 1 is because Daniel Bryan is the only guy I've watched from his debut to his retirement speech. And I really loved how it kind of made you feel like the audience was actually giving him the title shots when we have nothing to do with it. But the more you got into it, like going there and during a match that we didn't care for, we would just chant yes. it was some of the best times to the audience during those 2 years that it was going on. And I, even at home, like, if it was a shitty match, I'm chanting yes. And when the crowd got into it, you got into it. It was something really easy to do, and it was a good way to tell WWE, hey, he needs the belt. We want him to have the belt, and we're just going to interrupt matches until you give him the belt. And that's what fans ended up doing, and it made so much fun for fans to go to the arenas. Watching at home, you really felt like you were part of the crowd, and that's why I put it number 1, because it was a feel-good storyline for 2 years, and when he retired, it sucked, but I love how he went out with the yes chant at the very end, because that's what gave the fans power, and that's what made us feel like we were part of his little team. So yeah, to recap, top 5 storylines, number 5, TNA's Immortal. Number 4, Christopher Daniels versus AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe in TNA. Number 3, Eddie Guerrero can't beat Rey Mysterio. Number 2, Shawn Michaels obsessed with trying to beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania. And number 1 is the Yes Movement. Thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. And always, if you want to make a responding video, check it out or leave a link or leave a comment with your 5. I'd love to know what you have to say. So see you in the next video.